Welcome to the Heal, Thrive, Dream podcast, where trauma survivors become healthy thrivers. Each month, we'll feature a theme in the trauma recovery and empowerment field. To promote your recovery, healing, and learning how to build dreams, here's your host, Karen Robinson, transformational coach and therapist.
Welcome to the Heal, Thrive, Dream podcast. Today, I have an amazing, inspirational guest for you all. His name is R. Scott Holmes. Scott is an intuitive energy practitioner and transformational coach using Reiki, polarity therapy, RYSE, Theta healing, ultimate white time healing, and find your voice coaching techniques to clear, ground, and align your energetic body. His specialty is collaborating with professional men and women, allowing them to heal and maintain their authentic path in life. That is quite the bio, and that's only a little tiny piece of Scott's very long bio. Scott, thank you for being a guest on my show today.
It is my pleasure. Absolutely.
Scott and I met at an amazing healing writing retreat led by Brave Healing Productions and Laura DeFranco. So shout out to her. She's helped us both in our writing career. So thank you, Laura. Scott has also signed up to be a speaker on my summit, Finding Purpose After Trauma. Now, Scott, why on earth would you sign up for a summit like that?
Mainly because of you. However, what I found is that trauma takes on all forms and sizes and fashions, and it can transcend years, sometimes generations. And it really goes to the heart of who people are, how they make decisions, how they walk through life, their perspectives on life, how everything walks with beside them. And yeah, trauma is a big deal, and being able to see it, heal from it, acknowledge it, and walk through it is one of the most important parts that I've found in helping people.
So beautiful. And Scott, the little I know about you, I learned that you yourself have also been a survivor of several different traumas. And I know we have a short time together, but is there something that you want to share with the audience of other survivors? Maybe pick one of the traumas that you've been actively working healing through. Can you share a little bit about that?
Certainly. So last December, it was a year ago, I decided to get married again after the loss of my wife 9 years previous. And that's not the trauma, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I was gonna say, I know your beautiful wife. What are you doing? This is not trauma.
No, but we got married. A month later, I retired from full-time work. That had been underway for 3 years that I was going to retire. And retirement was so good that I ended up having a heart attack out of the blue a month later after I retired. No signs, no symptoms. Had been to the doctor for my annual physical the month before in January, and everything was fine. Yeah, my cholesterol was a little bit high, they said, and we got to start doing that and don't eat so many cookies and bread. Okay, that was fine. Came out of the blue, getting ready for bed, and all of a sudden my heart is going to come through my chest. Literally, it's trying to hack its way through. Doctor said, some men, they ignore it. I'm like, it had me on my knees. I don't know how they ignore it. I called it at 7:05. The ambulance was here at 8:30. I was at the hospital having a stent put in. I had 100% blockage in an artery. Now, I'm glad to say it wasn't the Widowmaker, because that would not have been good. But and the funny thing was, in that time, I knew it wasn't my time, no matter the pain I was in. And I knew I was going to get through it. Don't know how, don't know why. I'd never been through that kind of pain before, never had that kind of episode before. But I honestly trusted in everything. And it took 60 to 90 days for me to be able to recover from it, just simply because I couldn't lift, I couldn't walk, I couldn't do all those things. They have you walk very slowly. I went through cardiac rehab 3 times a week. So the reason I bring that up is my wife had breast cancer for 20 years. And she fought like crazy. She was the most unbelievable warrior that I know. She never let it get her down until the last couple of years. And then instead of somebody who had cancer, she was a cancer patient. She taught me what it took to get through whatever it is you're going through. I am somebody that have to fill out. I used to be able to say no on all the doctor's forms you have to fill out. I used to have to say heart, no, lungs, no. Now I have to say yes on the heart. And it's just, I am now somebody who had a heart attack. Never had anything repeat. I work out 3 times a week. I do yoga every day, meditate every day. I work very hard to maintain the integrity of who I am and what I do. And that's really what got me through, is that those rituals of doing those on a daily basis. I had been doing them before, but now they took on a new meaning. There was more of an intention behind it. I am not going to let this body deteriorate. I am not going to let this body let me down. I have this contract. I'm 68 years old and I have a contract to live till I'm 100. And so I know that I am going to take the best care of this body that I possibly can. Because at 95, I still want to be active, healthy, moving. I want to be able to do that. I've known 95, 98-year-old people, you would swear they're 70. And I want to be that person. I want to be able to do that. And so the trauma of that was that when I retired, I had this whole plan laid out all year. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew exactly how it was going to unfold. And this just blew it up. It just, the best laid plans of mice and men. And it was not, the universe did not see my way clear. But what it did do is it allowed me to discover so many different aspects of myself. How much do you really want this? Are you going to put the kind of energy into presence so that you are there for each and every minute of your life? Are you going to turn down any opportunities that come along? Are you going to say no because it's uncomfortable? No. I can do it. I will do it. I have, in a year and a half, just about a year and a half, I'm scheduled to jump out of an airplane with my granddaughter. First time for me. I'll be 80, she'll be 18. And does it scare me? I'm sure I'll be afraid, but just anticipating. I want to live life to its fullest in the moment with the people that are in front of me. The connection that you and I have, and that we developed in a very short period of time when we were down in Tulum at the Writers' Retreat, really is an example of that, of finding someone who is incredibly gifted, incredibly high vibe, but also open-hearted. And that fits you to a T. That's what I'm open to, is to finding people like yourself in my life. My tribe spans South Africa, Australia, Vancouver, UK, all over the place. And those are people that I enjoy being around, that are giving, loving, compassionate, kind, incredibly strong, and incredibly gifted. And I get to play in that sandbox. And I absolutely love that. So I have found my tribe, my family online. Does it mean I can hug them every day? No, but I can offer words of encouragement. I can be there for them. I can hold space for them. That's what I find that life is all about, especially with the masculine energy, is holding space. A lot of men aren't taught that. Some men do it intrinsically. They do it without understanding what they're doing. But I found my purpose in holding space for other people, being able to do that. I do hospice work and compassionate care of being there when somebody is transitioning. Now, I never thought I could do that. When I went through my through it with my wife and then my parents, I thought to myself, I could never do that. But it's been one of the most heartwarming, just incredible feelings to be able to be there to give somebody respite for even just a few minutes. I do Reiki with hospice clients to be able to allow them to calm and relax and just be in the space and to be able to give them 1 or 2 hours of just peace when they're going through something that traumatic. I've gotten more out of doing the work than I think I'm ever able to give. And that's amazing.
I love that your purpose not only goes beyond borders, but actually goes beyond this life into the next. Like that's so incredibly poetic, for lack of other words. But Scott, you have a lot of talent in the energy healing space. I think most of our listeners, sorry, will know what Reiki is, but could you say a little more about polarity therapy, RYSE,
Rise, yep.
theta healing, ultimate white time healing? My
So
audience may be less familiar with some of those.
certainly, this is the journey I've been on. I found Reiki. I loved it. Self Reiki, I do still do it every day. I always bring it back down to the very, very basic self Reiki. Polarity is Reiki. When I found it Reiki on steroids. And so it's pressure points, meridians, and throughout the body. And to be able to and through touch, to be able to move energy within the body, and it intensifies the experience of the clearings, getting everything just really laid out, especially with your chakras. And it is otherworldly. Rise is, I'm a Rise teacher, and I learned how to clear a room of people, 20, 25 people, to clear all of them energetically at the same time. So each one was a step up, right? And then theta, for those of you who have never, it goes to beliefs, the subconscious, about what we believe in ourselves. And what's truly amazing, and I don't know if you've ever used it, but you use your body as a pendulum. You move forward, yes. You move backwards, no. And with your eyes closed, you don't know which way your body's moving. You don't know the answers that your body's giving you. And it's about body intuition. It's about body awareness. It's about what is truly going on that we can't necessarily hear or see. White time universal healing is a new modality. Bradford Tilden is one of the experts at it. He was a friend, and it was brought down by, long story, but ETs in the age of Atlantis, and they deal with energy on an incredibly different level. And it's just, for me, it's like learning Qigong for me now. I do that 3 or 4 times a week. When I was in Vietnam, you see this whole park, and there are people of indeterminate age. They could be 60, 70, 80, 90, all doing Qigong at the same time. And if they're doing it and they understand that, and their culture is so much older than ours, there's got to be something to that. So I want to be able to move like that when I'm 60, 70, 80, 90. And so for me, all of these modalities are about the next step in what I do. And then I can share them with my clients. And when my clients tell me we do Reiki, it's never quite just Reiki, because once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. And it's different way to see their perspective, and when they have something going on, you can turn it a little bit and use a different philosophy. And that's why I've always learned more.
So what I'm hearing is that you've learned these techniques to heal yourself during
Absolutely.
your recovery and journey. And now you're gifting the world with what you've learned. You have the Scott spin on these healing techniques. And so tell us more about the Scott spin. Walk us through, like you're working with someone, they've disclosed to you that they're healing from complex trauma. They had trauma throughout their lifespan. Like how would you go about assessing them and deciding what healing modalities to use?
So first thing I do is I do a body scan, and that's where the energy will walk down each and every level of their body to be able to see where they are stuck, or their blocks, or there is stuck energy, or there are things that are not working correctly. I've done that virtually. I had a friend of mine in South Africa, and I told her she needed to go to the doctor because I couldn't determine there was a dark spot in her abdomen, and she had to go. She went to the doctor the next day, and they were doing surgery the day after that because they had found something. Validation. When you do this work, you're never, you know what you know. You can, I do it with seeing, and my seeing is knowing. I get impressions, I get feelings in my body about what's going on in the client's body. And I interpret it and let them know and walk through it with them so that they are aware of what's going on. When it's trauma, it's usually held in the sacral, right below the belly button, where all of our emotions, strong emotions, our sexual experiences, all of those are held there. And that's where the toughest place to look for things in all of us. We can stay up here, and that's great. We can lead with our heart, and that's great. But when we get down there, it's a jungle. It's not easy. There are things that we haven't dealt with when we were 6, when we were 9, when we were 13, when we were 22, and they sit and they stay there. And when we're triggered, they come up, and hopefully we don't talk through them, because then you're talking as if you are 6 or 9 or 13 years old. And so to heal that, we bring it up, acknowledge it, accept it for what it was. But now we are that adult that is looking at that 6 or 9-year-old who can comfort them, that can give them what they need in that moment that they didn't get in that moment. Whether it was love, whether it was comfort, whether it was trust, whether it was just saying, yes, you can go skateboarding, whatever is needed in that moment. And that's how we all heal ourselves, is to acknowledge those feelings, because they come up to keep you safe. And that is amazing. It's nothing to fear. They were put in place to keep us safe.
Your work to me sounds also not energy. I know we're one body, right?
Yep.
Mind, body, soul. Your work, though, sounds deeply spiritual. Can you speak to that a little bit?
I was raised Protestant, raised my children Catholic, so I converted at the time to Catholicism. And then when I went to Vietnam, I found out I was an accidental Buddhist. And it sounds funny, because I aligned with their teachings much easier. Western religion is God is outside of yourself, is this omnipotent being that created everything that is out there. Eastern religion is you look inward, because we are all God spark, that we are essence of God. And so in order to find God, you go inward. And that spirituality is all about knowing you. All the different religions, all the different philosophies, no matter whether it's Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Protestant, Catholic, whatever, it's all about being good, finding yourself, being true to yourself, finding your authentic self. And in order to do that, you really just gotta allow. I tell my clients all the time, hardest part you're gonna do, allow. I know that you've been through many different healing modalities, and when you have somebody going, yep, go ahead, not much is going to get through and not much is going to get done. But it's that
Yeah,
allowing of
there's a block. Yeah.
allowing of the energy, allowing of the alignment, allowing the clearing, allowing those parts of them that no longer resonate with them to leave. And it's as simple as that. And healing is as simple as that, allowing. And I try to, and I did 5 years after my wife passed, I did 5 years of weekly intensive psychotherapy. Okay. So I did that. I took all of this armor off that I had. All of the armor came off. And I realized I didn't need it. And I realized how much energy it took just to maintain the integrity of standing up with all that armor on and being hard. And I'm wondering why people couldn't get close. I had so much armor and nobody could get anywhere near me. Taking that all off and allowing it to shed was the best gift that ever happened to me. after my wife passed because I could be me. I didn't know who I was. And so it is a constant daily reminder of finding who I am, because I'm not the same person I was a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, or 10 years ago. And I'm certainly not that 18-year-old, 9-year-old, or 7-year-old that had a problem with something that went on, that happened. So now it is, that spirituality is about finding me again each and every day and connecting with it.
Beautiful. So, Scott, what's next for you in your work? You have all this experience and all these healing modalities under your belt. You're spiritual. You've done the mental health, emotional health work. You know, you're
So, yeah,
really well known with your energy healing. So, what's next in your healing journey or in your dream life?
my dream life. So
Other than jumping out of the airplane, which I highly admire.
thank you for that. I don't know if I should be put away for that or not. Yeah, I'm leading a book, 25 authors, on overwhelm and burnout. And that, that for me over the next 6 months is my baby that I'm going through. I'm working on a men's book and with a psychotherapist up in Toronto entitled, When Did You Become a Man? And when you sit
Love
down with
that.
men and ask them that question, it's amazing the stories because no one asks men those questions. Women talk about things all the time. Men are very singular. And then with all the writing, with all of the travel, I'm just looking to be able to reach out and touch it and reach as many people as I possibly can, because I think that there is so much that people need to hear when they are ready and willing to heal.
Yeah. And loving themselves is a great place to start.
It's the only place to start. Oh my gosh. You got to start there or nothing else happens.
I love I love both of your projects, but the males project is super meaningful for me because when I was a young trauma therapist in the 90s, the work I was doing with men, the curriculum did include what it means to be a man. And I thought, wow, they're really getting, because with men and trauma survivors, they automatically doubt their identity. They feel emasculated right away, no matter how they were traumatized because of society's expectations that men be stoic and superheroes and
Exactly.
only strong and nothing in between. So that's beautiful. For anyone listening, Scott, who wants to know more about you or be involved in these book projects or maybe hire you for energy healing, what is the best way for them to reach you?
My website is my name, rscottholmes.com. And just all you have to do is do Scott at rscottholmes.com for my email, and I'll get back to you right away. And it's just that easy. I want to talk and reach out and connect with as many people as possible because connectivity, collaboration is what makes the world go round, just like today.
Thank you, Scott. It's such an honor to be a part of your life now. I hope you stay in touch and when the books come out, please let me or my team know so we can add the book link to your show notes.
Oh,
Because
thank you very
podcast
much.
episodes live forever.
Absolutely. And we're going to be your summit,
Yes,
which is
yes.
absolutely, I'm really looking forward to.
And for those of you listening, when this episode first airs, we're having the summit Finding Your Purpose After Trauma, January 15th and 16th. And I hope to see you all there. It is free to attend. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening in today. Please join us next week, same day and time. Also, I would love for you to check out my website, healthrivedream.com.